When you can do this, you will retain your ability to think calmly, and calamity can never completely overwhelm you again. The advice given here will definitely cure you if you follow it. This will take some perseverance and courage. The sufferer from anxiety is neither a fool nor a coward, but often a remarkably brave person who fights their anxiety to the best of their ability with commendable, though often misdirected courage. They may fight through almost every waking moment with sweating hands and tense muscles, agitatedly trying to force forgetfulness of their desperate state by consciously concentrating on other things. Fighting is the natural defense, the only weapon one knows, so one fights ever harder. But the harder one fights, the worse one becomes. Naturally, for fighting means more tension. Tension means more adrenaline and further stimulation of the adrenaline-releasing nerves. I want you to be able to look clearly into the future and know that your only enemy is fear. Fear alone makes you vulnerable. Anxiety is only an expression of sustained fear. Its symptoms are no more than an exaggerated physical expression of fear. So first appreciate that it is fear and fear alone that can disarm you. Understand that without fear, your adrenaline-releasing nerves lack the stimulus to excite your organs to produce the sensations of anxiety. The next time you feel a spasm of fear, instead of shying away from it and trying to forget it or to control and prevent it coming, as you have done in the past, I want you to examine it as it sweeps through you and even to describe it to yourself, noting in detail its various component sensations. When you do this, you will find that the wave of fear strikes hardest when it first strikes, and that if you stand your ground and relax, it quietens and disappears. When you have learned to face fear this way and see it as no more than a physical feeling, you begin to lose your fear of fear. You step outside a vicious circle. A spasm may come from time to time, but you learn to disregard it. Eventually, it means so little that you hardly notice it in passing. Let the first shock pass. By floating, I mean letting the wave of fear break and sweep past you while you carry on in spite of it. It means to bypass the struggle, to go around, not over the mountain, to float and let time pass. The average person, tense with battling, has an innate aversion to practicing masterly inactivity and letting go. They vaguely think that were they to do this, they would lose control over the last vestige of their willpower and the house of cards would tumble. It is especially to such tense and controlled, nail-digging people that I say, practice masterly inactivity and let go. If your body trembles, let it tremble. Don't feel obliged to try and stop it. Don't try to appear normal. Don't even strive for relaxation. Simply let the thought of relaxation be in your mind, in your attitude towards your body. Loosen your attitude. In other words, don't be too concerned because you are tense and cannot relax. The very act of being prepared to accept your tenseness relaxes your mind, and relaxation of the body gradually follows. You don't have to strive for relaxation. You have to wait for it. Let your body find its own level without controlling or directing it. Believe me, if you do this, you will not lose true control of yourself. You will float up to the surface from the depths of despair. The relief of loosening your tense hold on yourself, of giving up the struggle and recognizing that there is no battle to fight, except of your own making, may bring a calmness that you have forgotten existed within you. However, physical exhaustion may delay recovery, but even here, with good food and peace of mind, 2 or 3 months are usually long enough to reclaim a person from anxiety of some severity, provided they do not have too many setbacks. Sometimes, perhaps when you think you are cured, the old fears and strange feelings may sweep over you again, just as intensely as at the beginning. Don't be dismayed. It is not so strange that they should. Memory is vivid and scars fresh. Also, you may have gone in search of these sensations to try yourself out, thinking it's too good to be true that you are free of the wretched things. Go ahead. You can come to no harm. What has cured you in the past will continue to do so, in spite of any setbacks. So accept each setback quietly and let more time pass. When you have unmasked the bogeyman of nerves, they can never really completely frighten you again. There will always be that inner core of confidence and strength to help you to float past fear. Remember that the strength in a muscle may depend on the confidence with which it is used. Accept any obsessions you may have, including obsessive thoughts, and be prepared to live with them temporarily. Do not fight them by trying to push them away. Let time do that. Remember that your recovery does not necessarily depend entirely on you, as so many people are so ready to tell you. You may need help, and accept it willingly without shame. Do not be discouraged if you cannot make decisions while you are feeling anxious. When you are well, it will be easy enough to make those decisions. Do not measure your progress day by day. Don't count the months or years that you have felt anxiety. Once you are on the road to recovery, recovery is inevitable, however long your anxiety may have lasted. Never accept defeat. Remember, it is never too late to give yourself another chance. Time is the answer. But there must be that background of true acceptance while waiting for time to pass. Floating. To float is just as important as to accept, and it works similar magic. I could say let float and not fight be your slogan because it amounts to that. The explanation is simple enough. When you fight, you become tense, and tension inhibits action. When you think of floating, you relax, and this helps action. Masterly inactivity, a well-known phrase, is another way to describe floating. It means to give up the struggle, to stop holding tensely onto yourself, trying to control your fear, trying to do something about it, while subjecting yourself to constant self-analysis and so the continuation of symptoms. Sometimes it is difficult for a person to admit to themselves that they are afraid. You can camouflage your fear as intense dislike if it makes you feel happier. This is of no importance, as long as you understand that the physical reactions in your body to intense dislike and fear are so similar that the difference is negligible. These feelings are caused by no more than the fear of the very feelings that fear itself has aroused. The principle of treatment can be summarized as facing, accepting, floating, letting time pass. There is nothing mysterious or surprising about this treatment, and yet it is enlightening to see how many people sink deeper into their anxiety by doing the exact opposite.